Hey Floyd, what do you think about the fight, Crawford Madrigal? You said it's gonna be a good fight. You think the winner should get Canelo?
Sir.
This ain't about them right now.
I'm saying that both of you guys are chasing one fighter. If y'all feel like y'all chasing him and y'all can't get that fighter, then y'all should say, fuck it, we'll fight each other.
Damn, that's crazy.
Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford recently sat down for an exclusive interview with a well-known news channel. During their conversation, they were asked several questions, including who they thought was the better boxer and who would win in a hypothetical fight between them. Unsurprisingly, neither was willing to back down. Mayweather, who has always called himself the best ever, stood his ground as expected.
I'm gonna fight Canelo, and I know that, Terence Bud Crawford has been trying to fight Canelo. They've both been trying to get that fight done. And it seems like both have been trying to get it done extremely bad. Now, if you can't get it done, then make you guys fight.
Floyd.
Congratulations, man.
Terence Crawford, on the other hand, isn't one to brag too much. However, in multiple interviews, he has confidently stated that there isn't a fighter alive who could beat him, not even Mayweather. That said, Crawford has also mentioned that he never seriously considered a fight against Mayweather, as he sees him as an idol and someone he deeply respects. But Mayweather wasn't about to let things slide so easily. He issued a direct challenge to Crawford, saying, "Bud, you and I can step into the ring and settle this once and for all."
Is up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? You know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy.
The Terence Crawford position, is it time for him to move up?
Wait. I think when he was like, a really super skillful fighter, very talented fighter. And I talked about that, a while back. And I thought about this, if he wanted to go to 168 and he want to fight Canelo bad and Benavidez want to fight Canelo bad, if they can't get Canelo, they can fight each other. Benavidez.
Crawford didn't seem too eager to take the bait, though. Right now, his main focus is on securing a fight with Canelo Alvarez, a match he has been chasing for over a year. Crawford sees this as an opportunity to prove himself and end the debate about whether he could hold his own against Mayweather. His coach is also fully on board with this plan and has been pushing for the fight to happen.
You had the Floyd Mayweather, his heir. But July 29th, I'm going to show each and every one of y'all why. This heir is the Terence Crawford heir. So y'all can witness great.
When asked on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast how he would perform against Mayweather, Crawford didn't hesitate to back himself. "Me versus anybody," he said with confidence. His trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, echoed the sentiment but admitted his bias. "Look, Crawford is like my son. I'll always back him. But here's the thing, Terence has that relentless drive. He didn't get to this level overnight. It took years of dedication."
So if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
But if you put Bud in there in his prime with Mayweather in his prime...
If Mayweather and Crawford were to face each other in their prime, most would agree that Mayweather would be the more strategic fighter. However, Bomac believes Crawford would have the greater fighting spirit. The debate on whether Crawford could break through Mayweather's legendary defense will likely never end. But for now, the fight that is actually within reach is the highly anticipated showdown between Crawford and Canelo.
Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man.
Mayweather, however, thinks Crawford should forget about fighting Canelo and focus on a match against him instead. During the discussion, Mayweather recalled his own fight with Canelo, saying that it was much easier than people expected. It's clear why Mayweather wants this fight. Two of boxing's biggest names squaring off would generate huge attention. Later this year, the world will watch as Canelo and Crawford finally meet in the ring. The match took some time to finalize, with Canelo even considering a fight against YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul, before ultimately sealing the deal with Crawford at the last minute. Now, the biggest question is whether Crawford can successfully move up 2 weight divisions and dethrone Canelo. 7. Mayweather and Canelo faced off back in September 2013 for the WBC and WBA light middleweight titles. At the time, it was Mayweather's 45th professional fight, and Canelo was still a rising star. Many expected the young Mexican fighter to give Mayweather a tough challenge. However, once they stepped into the ring, Mayweather's experience and skill proved to be too much, as he secured a convincing win. Throughout the fight, Mayweather outclassed Canelo with his superior technique, winning by majority decision. Even though Mayweather clearly dominated, one judge, C.J. Ross, controversially scored the fight as a draw at 114-114, which left many fans confused, including Mayweather himself. In a later interview, Mayweather didn't hold back his thoughts on Canelo, summing up the fight in 3 words: he was nothing. He continued, "Everyone praises Canelo, but let's be honest, he was an easy fight. I was nearly 40, and I handled him without breaking a sweat."
When I fought Canelo, I was 36, and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys won world titles and was undisputed champion. I think,
Mayweather retired just a few years later, but over a decade later, Canelo remains one of boxing's top names. He has won world titles across multiple weight classes, including middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. After losing to Mayweather, Canelo went on an impressive 15-fight winning streak, securing numerous championship belts along the way. Now he is gearing up for yet another massive fight, as his showdown with Terence Crawford is set to take place later this year.
Easy, man. It can't walk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
Joe, sometimes as a counterpunch, you can get help. Use that.
The tank age, the young low champions. Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts. And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s and they're in their 30s, you know what they say? Oh, this guy all washed up. That's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle. They should feel that way. So if he feel that way, more power to him. I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. So at one particular time, you guys can, anybody, you can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him.
And he just felt like he didn't have to do too much of nothing. I think he's going to be the best Canelo we've seen yet.
I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. When I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. Being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. They might catch him with a hard shot, but he's able to roll and turn with it.
Some analysts are concerned that the weight difference could be too much for Crawford. Moving from 154 pounds to 168 pounds is a significant jump, and many believe Canelo's size advantage could lead to a knockout victory, similar to when he fought Amir Khan, who also moved up 2 divisions and suffered a brutal KO. Mayweather was asked about Canelo's punching power and whether it worried him before their fight. His response? Not at all. Mayweather later explained that facing Canelo's power was nothing new for him. After being in this sport for over 20 years, I've felt it all, he said. His words might give Crawford some confidence, especially considering that Canelo hasn't knocked out any of his last 5 opponents. In a recent interview, Mayweather reflected on his fight with Canelo, bringing back memories of their 2013 bout. "I only fought at a catchweight once, and it wasn't even my idea," Mayweather said. "You can look it up. It was all documented. Canelo at one point thought I was afraid of him. He said, 'Floyd doesn't want to fight me, so I'll agree to meet him at 152 pounds. So I called his bluff and said, all right, let's do it at 152 or 152.5 pounds. After he made weight, there was no clause restricting how much he could gain afterward. He probably entered the ring at 168 or close to 170, while I was still at 151 or 152. In a recent interview with Manic Aopian, Crawford was asked if he thought Canelo was still at his peak. He responded that the 34-year-old Mexican fighter has been holding back in recent fights, but will likely bring his best against him. I don't think Canelo has been as motivated in his last few fights. Against Munguia, he showed respect and held back. Against Berlanga, he did enough to dominate, but didn't go all out. I believe we'll see the best version of Canelo yet when we fight. Before Crawford gets a shot, though, Canelo will first have to face IBF champion William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh. If Canelo wins, he will become a 2-time undisputed champion. Meanwhile, Mayweather continues his tradition of exhibition fights, stepping into the ring annually for entertainment purposes. Most recently, Mayweather had a rematch with John Gotti III in an exhibition bout in Mexico City. Unlike their previous encounter, this time there were no wild brawls, just another dominant performance from Mayweather. However, the crowd was not impressed, booing throughout the match. The 8-round exhibition wasn't scored officially, but at 47 years old, Mayweather easily outclassed Gotti, 31, the grandson of the infamous crime boss John Gotti. Mayweather landed punches effortlessly, but never seemed to seriously hurt Gotti. The fight unfolded exactly as expected, with Mayweather's superior skill on full display. Fortunately, this match didn't end in chaos like their previous fight in June 2023, although Mayweather clearly